If you wish to add some additional shaping to the waistline, you can sew down your pleats at the waist. While wearing your finished jumpsuit, use pins or safety pins to secure the pleats at your natural waist. You can add 1 or 2 pleats on either side of the center front seam and the center back seam, using the pleats at your shoulder as a guide for where to continue the folds at your waist. Right now, you can just kind of pin it in place as you see what looks best. And then once you remove the jumpsuit, you can true up the measurements to make sure that they're symmetrical and even on both sides. Pinning the back is obviously a lot harder than pinning the front, so if you have someone to help you, great. Or if not, you can do what I'm doing, which is just eyeballing it in the mirror, and then once we take it off, we'll true it up. Make sure you can still get in and out of your jumpsuit while the pleats are pinned in place. After taking off your garment, balance the pleats on either side to make them relatively symmetrical in depth. Here I'm also making sure that they're equal distance from the center seam. Here I'm measuring the depth, which turns out to be 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters. I've decided that I'm going to sew down these pleats 2 inches or 5 centimeters. So I'm marking the 2-inch mark as well. And then I'm going to make sure that it's symmetrical on the opposite side as well. So I want a 1 inch or 2.5 centimeter depth, and I want 2-inch height. And repeating the same method for truing up the pleats on the back. You also want the pleats to be the same distance from each other on either side of the center seam. Now edge stitch each pleat in place. I'm using top stitching thread because all of my visible stitch lines are in top stitching thread on this specific jumpsuit. So I'm leaving the threads nice and long so that I can tie the threads to the inside of the garment. If you're using an all-purpose thread that matches the color of your garment, then just secure the edge stitch in place by sewing a back stitch at the start and end of your stitch line. Here I'm bringing the top stitch thread to the inside of the garment, and I'm just going to tie a knot at the inside of the garment to secure the stitch line in place. And then you can just trim your threads.